ज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जना शलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यादेशतारिणे। पंचकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। अजानुलंबित भुजौघ्नकावदात संकीर्तनायकपितरो कमलायताक्ष विश्वम्भरो द्विजवरो योगदारुं पावो वन्दे जगत्प्रियकरो करुणावतारो। यन्दः प्रविश्य मम वाचमिमां प्रसुप्तं सञ्जीवयत्यखिलशक्तिधरस्वधाम्नान्यांश्च हस्तचरणश्रवणात्वगादिं प्रणम्यो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यम्। Hare Krishna. I'm very honored by the presence of all of you, especially Bani Maharaj, Dayananda Maharaj and others, senior devotees. Couple of days back I gave this presentation about the purification of the heart as a prime duty of a leader, and I will repeat it today for those of you who are not there, in case you are interested. It was somewhat spontaneous, so just a few thoughts about this important topic, and I require your blessings to be able to say something worthwhile, please. As I said, it will be just a few points. They are, of course, somewhat coherent and connected with each other, but nevertheless, I was giving yesterday and some other day the presentation about the culture of empowerment. What is the culture of empowerment constitutes of? And I'm trying to make a point there that the culture of empowerment is not just delegation. Sometimes we do think that empower people means to delegate some responsibilities which we have naturally. But the notion or the concept of empowerment is much broader than just delegation. You know, oftentimes I see that leaders are very eager to delegate their responsibilities. They are ready to delegate their responsibilities, but the complaint which I always hear in these cases is that nobody is ready to take the responsibilities. All these people are solely irresponsible, you know, they are not ready to take responsibilities. They are not taking responsibilities. I am ready to give some part of my duties to somebody, but nobody wants, nobody is eager, nobody is around. And there is always, it's more or less like a constant refrain of a leader, you know. Nobody wants to take responsibility. There is no people who are ready to do this. And my little presentation yesterday was about this. And this is also somewhat connected with this whole notion of this understanding of empowerment. That to successfully empower people, and that's the main point which I'm trying to make, you have to have some qualities within yourself. And the prime and most important quality is the purity of the heart. I was trying to speak about this during Bhagavatam class, and this is some related topic also. The first point which I wanted to make is that any organization to function properly, as Prabhupada explains in Bhagavad Gita, needs buildings, needs manpower, resources, capital. But I want to ask you, what is the real capital in our organization? Of course, Prabhupada definitely means it literally. Capital means capital. Capital means money. Capital means, some physical, so to speak, resources which help us function in this world. But if we take this notion of capital in a little figurative way, we will understand that the capital is something which provides particular organization to function. And I would ask you this question: what is the real capital in our organization? And if we have this capital, we are capable of functioning in this world, and we are capable of spreading the mission of Krishna consciousness. So what is the capital? Devotees? Any other idea?
Willingness to learn.
Willingness what?
Willingness to learn.
To learn. Okay. What else? Yes. Loyalty of the members. Good. Yes. Faith. You said faith. Yeah. This is the yes. Purity. Yeah. Basically, the answer I was looking for is this: faith. And of course, the other answers are correct. If people have faith, they have enthusiasm. If they have enthusiasm, they're there, they're staying there, therefore devotees are there. If people have faith, they're loyal to the organization, they are working very actively, and so on and so forth. So I would introduce first this particular notion that the main capital which we have, the main thing which gives us ability to function in this world is faith. And if devotees have faith, if people have faith, if they are capable of creating faith in the hearts of devotees, then everything is there. The success will be coming. There is no doubt about it. So this notion of Shraddha, of faith, is very important. And my next question would be, if a leader in any organization, having some position in the organization, is not careful about wasting the money or the main capital of this organization, how he would be dealt with by the higher leadership? What would be the what should be the proper dealings with such a leader? Obviously, he should be punished. He should be, like the other day I was giving this presentation, and one Mataji said, "Oh." So basically, the first point which I wanted to make very clear is that the prime duty of a leader is to create faith into subordinates, is to create faith in people, is to be able to create faith. And the purity of the heart is the prerequisite of this. If we don't have the purity of the heart, in other words, if we are somewhat insincere ourselves, then we will not be able to create faith, and we will not be able to inspire people, and nothing will work. And the contrary, if we destroy the faith of people, if we kill the enthusiasm, the spirit of enthusiasm in the people, which is again a result of our improper behavior and lack of purity, the ulterior motives within our heart and everything else. So on the contrary, if we destroy the faith of people, we are basically destroying the capital of our organization. Where instead of increasing our organization, strengthening our organization, we are weakening our organization. So that's the first idea, or the first understanding. So actually the successes of a leader should be measured to the proportion of how he is able or capable of creating or at least maintaining the faith in the leaders. And therefore, not in the leaders, of devotees, and for that he needs to have some minimal purity of the heart. He may not be completely pure, but at least some minimum purity should be there to maintain the faith in devotees, to maintain the faith in people. So this is one thing which I wanted to make from the beginning, why it is the prime duty to have the pure heart. Because, this is what leaders in any organization are supposed to do. They have to increase the capital. So the next point which I wanted to make, again, in relation to this previous point, is that I already said that the notion of empowerment, in my humble opinion, is much more powerful, is much broader than the notion of just mere delegation. The empowerment means basically to give power to the people to act, to give them power to act properly within the framework of Krishna conscious society, to provide them with this power. And the people, they have this power to act properly. Basically, when we are talking about empowerment of other people, we are talking about giving them qualification, right? To be able to function, to be able to do something within Krishna consciousness movement, people need qualification. And what is the main and basically the only qualification which somebody requires to be a devotee? What is the qualification? What is the adhikar to practice bhakti? Faith, yeah, right, we know. Shraddha means adhikar. Shraddha is not a part of bhakti. It's interesting that Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, he stresses this point, and also Bhaktivinoda Thakur, in a number of occasions, he says that Shraddha as such is not a process of bhakti. The process of bhakti is Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atmani, Vedanam. Faith is not there. Faith is the prerequisite. It's outside of the realm of practice of bhakti, but it's a very necessary and a very important prerequisite to practice bhakti. Without faith, you cannot practice bhakti. And therefore, again, to empower people to practice bhakti, you have to be able to at least maintain, or better, to create the faith. And together with the notion of empowerment comes the notion of disempowerment, which I wanted to again say that this is a little new point. Disempowerment means that we deprive people of power to act properly, deprive people of power to act as devotees. And we as the leaders have plenty of opportunities to deprive people to act as devotees. We have a special privilege to really destroy the faith in the people. Not only, as I said, you may be okay as a leader if you are not increasing the capital of the organization. At least you should maintain it. But you should not destroy the capital of the organization. And what I want to say is that we may disempower people not just by not delegating them certain responsibilities which we have. we can greatly disempower people around us by showing wrong example. You know, you don't have to do anything basically to disempower people around you. You just have to be not a proper example. And people will feel total, complete emptiness in the heart. They will feel that something is lacking in their life. They will feel lack of enthusiasm just by seeing at you as a leader. So again, this concept of empowerment and disempowerment, I think, is very important for any leader to understand that, to empower people, it's not a specific process, so to speak. Of course, if you delegate, there is a specific process which you should follow. It's a systematic process. It's being taught in the management seminars. But, if you don't behave yourself properly, the result will be disempowerment of people, even if they are not directly dependent on you. Just by the mere fact that you are a leader in a religious organization and you are not, meeting the highest possible standard of this particular religious organization on the principles which is being spread by this religious organization, you will have this effect of disempowering people. We know this in our rich and very eventful history, because sometimes people, they think, that it's to inspire other people. You have to really give the pep talks, and you have to really, yell in a high pitch, just surrender, distribute books, Haribol. But I think it's Saint Franciscus. He said that everyone has to preach, and sometimes he can even talk. Meaning that if you want to preach, sometimes you can talk, to preach. But the main point in preaching is not to talk. The main point in preaching is to behave. And by not behaving yourself properly, we will disempower people, or we will deprive them with the faith. And then next point, which again is connected to this, or the next thing which I wanted to introduce or explain to you how I see it. And please bear with me, it's my understanding, and if you find it helpful, I've never seen the description which I will make anywhere in the scriptures as such. Although, there is some confirmation to this. And it's related to the topic which was there before. So what I will explain now, the gradual process of purification of the heart. Srila Prabhupada makes a very strong and interesting point in a couple of purports in Bhagavad Gita. In a number of purports, he stresses the point of seeing the ultimate goal as the prerequisite of gradual process. Like in the purport of Tesham Satata Yuktanam Bhajatam Priti Purvakam Dadani Buddhi Yogam Tam Yena Mamu Payantite, he makes a very interesting point. He says the ultimate goal is Krishna. And if you see this ultimate goal is very clearly, then you will be able to achieve it for sure, 100%, through the series of gradual steps, progressive gradual steps. In other words, Prabhupada, he makes, in another purport in Bhagavad Gita in 266, I believe, he makes the point that if you're not connected with the ultimate goal, if somehow or other the ultimate goal is missed, then you will have disturbance within your mind, you will not be able to be steady, and so on and so forth. So Prabhupada, he stresses this point that you need to see the ultimate goal, but besides seeing the ultimate goal, which is very, very important, you have also to know, and if you see the ultimate goal very clearly, you will be able to see the path which leads to this ultimate goal. You will see the gradual steps which you will have to make to reach this ultimate goal, and ultimately you will achieve this ultimate goal or the highest goal. So the next point which I want to make, and to try to think a little bit about and to elaborate a little bit about together with you, is that to be very clear about the goal, and to be very enthusiastic about achieving the goal, you definitely need to see the intermediate goals. When the goal is too high, and we all know the goal is Krishna, right? And it's inspiring to a certain extent, and we know the goal is love of God. But what I want to introduce now, that when the goal is too high, sometimes we may feel a little discouraged. Either because it's too high and may seem to be unachievable. Sometimes when we hear this, you have to chant 24 hours a day. Who is really being inspired by this statement that you have to chant 24 hours a day? Or sometimes when we hear the descriptions of Lord Chaitanya when he was, manifesting the symptoms of love of God, sometimes you cannot help but think, do I really need it? I mean, I'm really sorry being such a heretic here, but what I want to say is that when we hear, that there was a foam in the mouth of Lord Chaitanya, and he was just foaming in his mouth, and he was saying jaga jaga, and he was choking, It's a little difficult to relate to it in our present condition. It may not be exactly relevant to our day-to-day life. If we come to our wife and say, my dear wife, from tomorrow on I will be foaming in the mouth, and chanting 24 hours a day. It may be relevant to you, it definitely will not be so relevant to your wife. That may be another impediment on your progressive path towards Krishna. So, what I want to say that it's to achieve this, and Prabhupada stresses this in this purport, that ultimate goal, you have to be very clear about the ultimate goal, no doubt about it. But if you see the ultimate goal, you will also see intermediate goals. You will also see the goals which you will have to achieve gradually, and by going step by step, achieve the ultimate goal. So, what I want to explain to you now is a very important thing. How to see these goals and how to go step by step from goal to goal. We all know the essence of the scriptures as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explained them. He said that the essence of all scriptures is divided into three categories. What are these three categories? Sambandha, Abhideya, and Prayojana. What is prayojana? Goal. That's why we're talking about this. Prayojana is the goal. And basically prayojana, the very word prayojana means something with which you want to be associated with. Prayojana, something with which you want, with which you are connected. You're achieving something. Therefore, this verbal root, huge, is there. Prayojana. Prayojana. What I would like to introduce now is a slightly different understanding than these three terms. We will keep prayojana as a goal as such. And I want to ask you, what would be the alternative Sanskrit word for Abhideya? Abhideya is a process, right? How we usually call Abhideya? Sadhana, yes, sadhana. And sadhana we know, Banu Maharaj will tell us that sadhana, as opposed to sadhya, is the systematic process to achieve sadhya, the goal. Sadhana means something which you do to achieve the goal. So let's, for a moment, let's, for our discussion, to change Abhideya into sadhana. And prayojana is the goal. Okay. So I want to change this word also, but before changing this word into something else, I want to ask you, let's try it. What would be the alternative for Sambandha? What would be the alternative of Sambandha? Knowledge. Yeah, it's definitely knowledge. It's Sambandha Gyan. Sambandha Gyan. You get some knowledge, and by getting some knowledge, you are basically getting desire to achieve the goal. There are, in Nyaya it is explained that there are two ways to achieve desires. There are desires of two kinds. First kind of desire, you already experience something, and because you experience something, you created some samskara in your mind. Because you have some samskara in your mind, you want to repeat the same experience if this experience is pleasurable. So this is one way of developing desires. Desires are based on our own experience, but there is another way of achieving, of having desires, and this is very widely used in the advertisement industry. What is the other way to plant the desire within the heart of a people? Huh? Yeah, basically to give them some knowledge. This is what you need. You don't have, you have a stupid washing machine. And, you have no idea what this washing machine is all about, what it is, but you see that some people are happy by using this washing machine. And they say, this is Samsung washing machine or whatever. And then you say, I need Samsung washing machine. You don't have any experience, but you get some knowledge about this. And therefore, Sambandha Gyan is there. We get the knowledge. How we get the desire to achieve Krishna. We don't have the experience of Krishna, right? Does anyone? Of course, I don't have. Does any one of you has? But we get the knowledge, and by getting the knowledge, how nice it is that there is a nice weather in the spiritual world, and nice prasadam. And not much hassle and not much things like this. So you get some. This is Sambandha. But what I want to introduce is slightly different concept here, the concept of adhikar, or qualification. Adhikar or qualification instead of sambandha, for our discussion, will give little more clear understanding what I want to say. Adhikar or qualification, sambandha means to do, right? Sadhana means to do, right? Prayojana means to get, right? Prayojana, what you want to get. Sadhana means what you want to do. What is adhikar? To be. Okay? You are in a certain level of existence, you're on a certain level of spiritual development, you're on a certain level of understanding, and this constitutes your adhikar or your qualification. And then when you have this adhikar or qualification, you will do something, and you get some extra knowledge. By this extra knowledge, you develop desire to get something. And when you develop desire to get something, you also get the knowledge of what you should do. Therefore, sometimes it is said also sambandha jnana, videya jnana, what you should, and prayojana jnana. What is the goal of your endeavors? What is the goal and what you are supposed to do? So, if we take, this is the next point. If we take a long path to an ultimate goal, and you coming to some intermediate goal, and there are few of these intermediate goals which you want to come to, then if you are on this point, in the point A, then the point B towards the point A will be what? Will be in this scheme. Will be prayojana, right? It's a prayojana. This is your intermediate goal. But when you and this is your adhikar. On the point A is adhikar, B is your prayojana, and this stage, again, I am explaining the gradual progression. So, but if you achieve the point B and you want to go to the point C, so what the point B will become? Adhikar. And point C your prayojana. And when you achieve point C, then point C becomes your adhikar and point D becomes your prayojana goal. So what I want to explain here so that we know, the gradual progression means